The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live from the radio studios of WFAY and WMRV, Androlonis Media presents Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio.
Well, everybody, good evening and welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas. I'll be your host this morning. We're proud to be the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in the region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice to the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. This evening, I keep reading that darn thing, but this evening I welcome host Pastor Josh.
Good morning, family.
And Mrs. Laura Musler over here in the corner.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm still in the corner.
Still in the corner. So I also want to welcome my guest, Mr. Grilley Mitchell of Hope Mills, running for Hope Mills Commissioner. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hello, everyone.
So we're going to dive into the show. We appreciate you tuning in and spending time with us this morning. Please take a moment to like, share, or follow us on Facebook and look for us at thecarolinacabinet.com. And you can find links to our shows and how to listen on your favorite podcast broadcaster. Don't go far. We'll be right back.
Since 2012, Joshua Goodman has been the senior pastor at the Cliffdale Christian Center, a dynamic church and ministry located in West Fayetteville. Join our friend Pastor Goodman for a podcast or a live sermon in person at 6427 Cliffdale Road. Now for today's good news. Here is Joshua Goodman.
Well, good morning from the All-American City. This is Pastor Josh, and have I got some good news for you in a time when so many want to unpack, discuss, talk about all the negative junk. I'm here to give you some good news. Well, what can I say, fam? In the past week, the Goodman household has had 2 birthdays. My middle daughter, Taylor, turned 24 just a couple days ago. My youngest son, Zion, turned 16. Wow. My youngest is 16. Goodness sake. My oldest son, Anthony, flew in from L.A., and as soon as he got here, we hopped in the truck, headed over to the coast, spent a few days surfing in the sun, swimming in the sand, having a great time, eating crab legs, oysters, scallops, you name it. We literally threw down. It was kind of interesting because while Anthony was here, he told me, he's like, Dad, you realize it's been almost 20 years since you ran the Marine Corps Marathon. And I was like, wow, yeah, 2006, next year will be 20 years since I ran it. And he says, I'm the same age you were when you ran it. And I knew where he was going. I could see, right? And he said, yeah, next year I'll be the same age you were. Why don't we think about running it together? Well, y'all, I'm 52 years old now. And I got to say, I didn't hesitate for a second. I was like, all right, son, let's do it. Now, I got to tell you a little something about myself. Like I said, I'm 52, so I'm 20 years older than I was the first time I ran this bad boy. Also, maybe a little bit too much truth, but I weigh probably 50 pounds more than I did the first time I ran this race. And it just, man, it's so much harder to get into the flow of running once again. The writer of Hebrews says this. He says, therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us put aside every weight and sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run the race that has been set before us with endurance. Like I said, it's probably been 10 years since I've done any training. 50 pounds heavier, 20 pounds older, and yes, I did indeed accept the challenge. I want to give you this today because here are some keys to, finding victory in life. Number one, if you're going to run a race, you need to train. And you can't begin preparing for the race that you want to run today. You can't start preparing today. If I'm going to run the race in DC, I'm going to start preparing a year out. That's number one. Number two, you got to train with consistency. You got to be faithful to it. You can't just train once a month or once every couple of weeks. You've got to be faithful to kick the bricks almost every day. And number three, Anticipate growth. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean this. Today, I ran my first half mile that I have ran in forever. And I could say, well, there's a big difference between that half mile and 26.2 miles. There is. But I can tell you this, if I grow along the way, my half mile will equal a mile, will equal 2 miles, 4 miles, 6 miles, 8 miles, until I get to my 26.2 miles. These same principle, friend, they apply in your life. Begin training. You're going to have battles tomorrow. You're going to have races you're going to have to run, circumstances, situations. Begin training today for the circumstances you're going to face tomorrow. Train consistently. Don't just do it haphazardly. Learn, grow. Listen, if you are not a better person than you were yesterday or last week or last month, then you need to turn that trajectory around and start going in the right direction. Always be prepared to learn and be prepared to grow. This is Pastor Josh, and that is your good news.
A conservative local radio talk show that you're not afraid to tell your friends about. The Carolina Cabinet, land of the free thinkers and talk show of the brave.
And brave we are. Good evening, everybody.
We're going to have to get used to that. Good evening.
Good, the whole 2 years of pretending,
yes,
radio
morning.
Pretend we're going to be on Sunday mornings. But here we are. So we are live streaming tonight. We have Mr. Grilley Mitchell with us. I'm going to skip some of the usual pleasantries because he needs to go to a commission meeting here shortly.
Come on.
So we need to get him out. So Grilley, I know a little bit about you, but tell everybody watching, tell us about yourself in a quick 1 or 2 minutes.
Right. Well, my name is Grilley Mitchell. I'm a citizen of Hope Mills. I was a former commissioner a couple of years ago, and I am actively involved in the community. I'm the program manager for a program called the Alms House, where we feed the homeless and the needy. And we have a feeding program where we feed 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's a program that's near and dear to my heart. That's a priority for me. And my most dedicated mission right now is focusing on the senior citizens, people with disabilities, and our youth. They are a vulnerable population, and they need us to fight for them.
So what on Hope Mills Commission do you see that you can, so those are your top things. So what on the commission do you think you can affect change with? What's lacking? Where can we improve?
The lacking is to build partnerships and relationships, find other organizations that have a desire to help reduce, control, and minimize the homeless situation. Mm-hmm. Homelessness is like a five-fold process. You cannot unhomeless an individual that choose to be homeless. So we focus on those individuals and come up with a plan to prevent homelessness. That's the number one priority. Those individuals that are struggling to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. Find a source. Case in point, we're looking at our seniors that's on fixed income. Why not work with the state, work with the county, and work with the city, and we come up with some type of home status exemption policy where we can actually assist them with paying those escalated taxes.
Okay. So how many people do you think are affected?
And that's near and dear to my heart. Love being able to feed the homeless, partner with Southeastern Regional Food Bank, and it's oftentimes something not really at the forefront of our society's vision. It's a kind of an out of sight, out of mind sort of thing. If I don't see the homeless person, I don't have to think about the homeless. I don't have to do anything. Childhood hunger, I see that, being where I live, I see that so often. It's such a need. The thing is like you said, the need is out there, but people don't often want to take a look at the need. And I love that you're focusing on individuals who are homeless, who don't have a choice, because there are individuals, I've met them, who are homeless, and it's by choice. That's the life they choose, and that's their freedom. That's their choice.
Absolutely correct.
But when you have a child who's 7 years old living with his mom out of their car, for me as a society, dude, I'm just like, that is unacceptable.
It hurts the heart.
Yep.
It really does. We have a program called the CAP program, or the KAPP Plus. With that, we work with the school social workers, and we send out a bag every Friday for those social workers to take back to the school to send it with that child at home. And then our Plus program is to assist our senior citizens.
Yeah. And that's, again, I would have to say, probably the most vulnerable sectors of our community are youth and then our elderly. You have individuals who are elderly who live alone and do not have people to take care of them.
And that is true. And what a lot of people don't understand about the aging population, a lot of those individuals, especially in the late 70s and 80s,
Mm-hmm.
they were stay-at-home moms,
Yeah.
stay-at-home wives that did not work outside their home. And a lot of those ladies, their source of income was just the Social Security.
Yep.
And when you
And that ain't much.
it's not much. When you live in an apartment for $800 today, you get a notice saying it's going up to $1,500.
Yep.
You are homeless.
And that fixed income, that doesn't change.
Does not change.
They're not up in their Social Security so that they can afford the new tax hikes.
And cost of living cannot keep up with inflation.
Nope.
And it does not.
So
Okay.
you want to go?
Sure, I
Go
will.
ahead, Laura.
Okay, so you're from Hope Mills, and Hope Mills has had such a quaint small town feel. So how do you keep that small town charm, but help develop?
With the opening of 295, or building of 295, my approach would be, let's build from the outside in. Let's look at commercial, retails that would build up the tax revenue so that money can come inside and build the town, but maintain that same small town feel. I'm from a small town, and I love the small town feel. I love the fact that I feel safe and secure because we have an amazing police department, and I just feel safe. And when people come into Hope Mills, I want them to feel that they are in a small town community, and we are saying to them, welcome to our community.
Nice.
So you think it's possible, though, to hold on to the small town feeling? Because this is my argument as a business person, okay? I go where the traffic is.
All right.
It's like there was a guy back said, why do you rob banks? That's where the money's at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I go where the traffic is. And people in Hope Mills have been outspoken about development of hotels and other restaurants because, well, we're a small town. But Fayetteville was a small town, and we still have mentality of leaders that they think it's a small town. It's not. So do you think holding on to that small town feeling, do you realistically think that's possible?
Yes, I'm a firm believer that anything is possible. That's why smart growth, work from the outside in.
How do you smarten the growth?
How do you smartly growth? By working with those developers that have a desire to come in and build the systems, or build the commercial buildings and the commercial businesses that we need to help do that.
Okay.
Case in point, we sit on a good opportunity, 95 to 95.
Right.
Tell me, where is there amusement park in this area close by? You have a large military installation. You have a lot of families here. That right there can be an excellent tax source revenue. And at the same time, you can fix up Hope Mills. Go into the old areas. Let's beautify the area. Let's take and fix up the old areas that begin to deteriorate. But we can maintain that small town feel, make it walkable.
Okay.
Put more lights in.
When you say that, because I have a house out in Hope Mills, so when you start growing and things like that, and you look at, I mean, as far as the zoning goes, you go from trailer park, $3 million home, trailer park, trailer park. What are we going to do to make that a little more cohesive? I don't want to run the people that are living in the trailer parks are exactly who you're saying.
Right.
The people that we can't tear down those trailer parks and
Absolutely.
move them out. So we have to find a way to do something.
Why not take and put up some nice, beautiful fences along the way? So, and actually put some type of mirrors on those fences, so folks, when they sit, there might be a trailer park on the other side, but outside you're looking at beautification, and the folks can continue to live a normal life, and at the same time improve the code enforcement. Where, hey, listen, you're gonna live here, you got to help maintain it, because it is important that we maintain and feel safe and feel good about where we live, and everybody needs to feel as though they are appreciated, they are respected, and dignity respect is one of my key priorities with anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody is not born where they can just wake up and they can put their hands on security, where they feel safe. But it's our duty and job, sitting in that position as elected officials, to make them feel welcome, to make them feel safe.
So you served for 2 years already, and I told you we have discussed here on the cabinet a lot why local elections matter and how important your vote is, because I used Grilley. The last time you ran, you lost by 1 vote.
That's
right. And that
you're
was
the
against,
one.
Yes. So,
You're the
so
one.
this was the guy I've been talking about the whole time. But more importantly, I've invoked Grilley and I've invoked Mario Benevente, because he won by 6
Mm-hmm.
over Antonio Jones. So, local elections matter. You've already served in the seat for 2 years. Making the town of Hope Mills more walkable. What do you think? Were you working on something maybe before that your term ended and you weren't able to complete? What exposure do you have to that kind of thing?
Yes, we've actually put together a walkable plan. It's been a while since we worked on it, but I think that we need to re-engage that plan. And we do the nighttime parade for the Christmas time at Hope Mills now.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is missing is improve the lighting.
Okay.
So lights prevents criminals from hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
When I feel safe, I'm going to walk.
Well, yeah, if you turn the lights on, the cockroaches, they run. So,
Right.
Oh, wow.
Look,
And sidewalks, of course, they make an improvement to sidewalks. So we just got to focus on those things and make it work.
do you feel like the current board has maybe dropped the ball on that? I mean, you're running for a reason. You're running. I know you as you're a neighborhood guy.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to demean you when I say that, but your neighborhood. You got your finger on the pulse of the neighborhood. So what have you been seeing the last few years that you're like, I need to do this again?
Well, I do not bash no board or say anything about a board that's present sitting because I'm not up there at the time. I just know when I was up there, it's different. When you're up there, you have to look at things completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And my policy has always been, I would tell the town manager and the departments there, listen, present it to us, but make sure that you have the facts and the information to support the decision that need to be made. And that is something that we need to begin to focus more on, is making sure we lay out a plan and explain to the citizens why we're about to make that decision. I think that every citizen need to be informed why we make the decisions that we do, good or bad. Colin Powell said something that was very, very important. I stuck with me, and I had it on my wall when I was big boss. Being responsible means pissing other people off.
All right.
That's true.
And it's lonely at the top.
Yep.
I think we've experienced some of that in the last week or so. Laura, what do you think?
Perhaps a little bit,
Yeah, a little
maybe.
bit. So,
Yes.
and that's why I like you're a straight shooter, and you just get to the point. You're going to piss somebody off.
Absolutely.
But do you feel like the board? And I know we're not here to bash on or vilify anybody, but do you think that the current Hope Mills board maybe the town manager didn't disclose certain things, or could there have been more communication?
You know what I did this time around? I made it my business to watch from a distance, but do not get involved in the politics.
All right.
Because I hate playing Monday morning quarterback with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because ain't no doubt in my mind, we can all second guess someone else's decision.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that there's some things they could have done differently,
Mm-hmm.
but they made the decision based on the information that they had, or based on their research work that they have done. And if they have made decisions based on that, I can support them.
Right.
If I question you on something, you can't support it, we got a problem.
But if they made decisions for emotion or maybe public input, that could have hampered and made the decision not so
right.
Not so
And
accurate.
I don't make no decisions based on nobody's calling me up saying, hey, nope, give me the evidence to support that, and we would discuss it, and then we'll make a decision that's on in the best interest, not just some citizens, but all citizens.
Okay.
So do you have a plan specifically in place on how you're going to make things, if you get on city council, how to make things more transparent? Or because I always suggest that everybody has to write a reason as to why it is they made the decision that they made.
When I sat up there as a commissioner, one of the things that I did, someone would call me up and say, Grilley, I got a problem. I appreciate you calling me. Thank you so very much, but I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take and email the town manager and email the other elected officials, because I am not going to make a decision without engaging them and engaging the town manager, because in return, he has to engage the department heads. They're the ones that got to bring us back answers to the problem that citizen had. But one thing I do require, that citizen have a right to get feedback. Good or bad, they need to know why or what happened in our research and why we're giving them the answer that they're getting.
Well, hold on just a second. So when you say somebody contacts you and then you send them off to talk to the city manager, isn't as a representative that your job?
It is as my job to represent it, but at the same time, and I do that. Trust me.
Okay.
I follow up. But I want the citizens to know that the town manager should be their first choice. because the town manager is the one that has to task or sign that responsibility out. But I am going to follow up on that citizen. I have citizens call me up all the time. But when we get in, we start talking about it. I got to talk to this commissioner. I got to talk to that commissioner. We all have to discuss it and find, because they might even have dealt with a problem like that. They might even have an answer already. And so I think that it will expedite time and hopefully expedite a solution to that citizen's problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, good stuff. What would you like to see at the conclusion of your term?
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope to have accomplished?
Leave Hope Mills in a better place than I found it now.
Okay.
What does that mean? Number one, find a way to reduce the tax burden on the citizens. Find a way to make Hope Mills the most small town friendly community in the whole state of North Carolina. Those are high bars, but if we raise it high, it's something that's achievable. When people hear about Hope Mills, they say, well, I drove through that town. We're not just talking about the lake. We are talking about the friendliness of Hope Mills. And I can tell y'all, working at the almshouse, when there's been problems and situations, we say, listen, we got a problem. We need your support. We need a food drive. We need this. We need that. The people in Hope Mill raise up and they support that effort. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons I love that community, because we are a community of love. And most of all, we are a community of hope.
Nice.
Tell me, because I hear you and I hear the passion in your voice, and I believe you can do it, but I want our listeners to know, give me your background. Why you? What have you done? What is your past, to be able to make these bold claims?
Number one, I'm a retired military. I've had some major key jobs. And at one point, I was a war planner. And you could not make plans without doing your research, having all the information to not necessarily guarantee success, but reduce the opportunity of failure. So what I focus on, president of the Cumberland County Veterans Council, I've been doing that, trying to improve it, to convince our veteran organization that we need to work together, because together we are more powerful and we become a voice of one when we work with our politicians. Most of all, letting the citizens know we are accessible. We work for them. We are there to support them. No matter what it is, no matter what time, if the citizens have a problem at 3 o'clock in the morning, if they pick up the telephone and call me, I have a duty and obligation to answer that phone call. Right now, there's a lot of widows that live in Hope Mills. When they call me, there have been times they call me and say, my husband just died. Oh. But guess what? I listen. And I will contact the chaplain. Well, back that time I was a chaplain, but I will contact my chaplain now, or I will whatever we need to do. What do we need to do to meet the needs of this citizen at that time? Because it might not be important to me, but guess what? If it's important enough for them to pick up the telephone and call me, it's important enough for them to get a response.
Okay, so I'm looking at your City View interview that you did. One of the hot buttons out there right now, and it's gotten people to turn quite nasty to each other in the Hope Mills chatter and some other things, 4-year terms. So it says in here that you think possibly you could save the town money by skipping one election. So what else would you think would be a benefit and maybe a con of 4-year term? If you notice in the article, I cited a couple of things. Number one, an opportunity to save money. I think came to about $206,000. That's cost savings. The other one is every time there's a change in the board, more than likely, unless them funds have been locked down and earmarked, that board can come along and change that. And we had it happen a few years ago. The board, there was a plan put together by the Lake Committee. They had a three-phase plan. And I thought it was an excellent plan because the board voted on it, but somehow, some way, it got changed. And they wound up, I understand, if I'm understanding correct, don't quote me on this, but I think it was something like in excess of $500,000 that were utilized to do something that was already approved. And if they did it in the phase plan they already had in place, that's $500,000 that could have been utilized for something else. 4-year term, me, if you look at my history, I've always voted against a 4-year term. I have, 4 years, that's a lot of time.
It really is.
Well, it's good
I'm just
enough.
being
It's
honest.
good enough for the president of the United States.
But
Come
do
on,
you,
really?
but do you find with 2-year terms, you spend the first, especially if you're new,
Yes.
spend the first 6 months learning the job.
Yes.
Then you spend the next 6 months actually like figuring out how you're going to do the job. Then you're like, okay, now I'm ready to go. Now I need to run again. You don't even get seated. So the first term to me is almost like it's wasted. And heaven forbid should you lose your seat and we start that whole cycle all over again. So wouldn't 4 years, like I said, staggering so that you
Right.
always have somebody on there that's working towards what you're working towards be a better fit? In my opinion, it is.
Yes. And I mean, there's pros and cons to both sides. I mean, in the state up there in the House, how many years they do? They do 2-year term. You know, there's certain organizations, certain places they do 2-year term. One thing I found out was beneficial to me. I have always been involved in Hope Mills in the community. I served on some committee, served on some board, but I was involved. And if you prepare yourself and start doing your research, you're already ready to do some work on the front end. What pisses me off is these so-called politicians. I'm gonna call it like it is. You don't see them until it's time for an election, and half of them don't even have a clue what it takes to run a government or make a government works. And when they get up there and they find out, that's regulatory, that's statutory. We can't make those decisions.
Preach it, preacher man.
Right.
It don't happen that way.
So many.
Well, when I get to be this, no, you don't do that because I'm 1/5 of 5 people that
So
vote.
it sounds like he knows he needs to have a plan going in,
That's right.
unlike some other candidates we've run into lately.
When I get there,
My
I'll
goodness.
figure it out.
Yeah, I'll set everybody down and I'm going to day one. It's like, no, you need to know kind of going in.
Yeah.
And
You
really,
gotta-
we're going to give you another video because
We lost you.
We keep losing you, but I think you broke my camera.
I
I told you we
Too
ain't
good
magicians-
looking. That's what
we
it
ain't
is.
magicians
Too good
up in
looking.
here, sir.
Yeah.
But so personally, I have spoken to City Council of Fayetteville against 4-year terms. Now, that was because at the time, I think maybe less perspective I had, and like what we're getting into. And I think 4-year terms now, I'm changing my mind on it because of what I see about to happen to the city of Fayetteville. We have 4 out of 10. Is it going to be? It's correct, right?
Right.
Yeah,
4,
four.
4 city council seats that will be brand new. There's no incumbent because they decided to run for mayor.
Yep.
So you got 40% of your
Where's the
city
wisdom?
council.
You know, I'm not saying
there
that
is no bench strength. No,
Yeah.
there isn't.
No, you're right.
I mean, some of these people. Listen. I've said, what did I say before the show? I wouldn't trust with a potato gun.
Yes.
And then those other ones I've said some a little more colorful
Yeah.
things.
Well, we don't
maybe.
need to say those
But
now.
we'll get to that later. We'll do the cabinet after dark.
Yeah.
We'll get into all that.
But I will say this on 4-year term. If there's a board that's up there working in harmony and they are making the positive forward progress that need to be made for a community, 4-year term is excellent. But when you get up there and you have toxicity going on and infighting, that is going to be a long 4-year stretch
Well,
for
but
everybody.
it would be but it would be staggered. That was one thing that we really weren't considering with city council when I spoke against it. We really weren't. I wasn't considering the whole playing field.
Right.
Okay. So, and this is what my fear is. You got 40% of the council about to be, and again, you're in Hope Mills. I'm in the city of Fayetteville.
Right.
We got 40% going to be brand new. You have 2-year terms, very short lifespan. Then you have projects that, I'm sorry, but this next city council that gets seated is going to control the next 15 years of city of Fayetteville. And it is scary as all get out, seeing some of the people running, thinking they're going to be finger on the button, so to speak. So at this point, I'm urging more. I've said it before. We want adults at the table,
Yep.
Right.
and that doesn't speak to age; speaks to your mental.
Yep.
You know, we need people that can be conciliators, people that can get people.
Right.
You have to have a consensus.
I
You
agree.
don't want to go through hell every meeting you have.
That's right.
You want to enjoy the people you
Yep.
work with. Okay,
Peter, but I'm sorry.
go ahead.
But I always say this. If you lay out a plan and show the citizens why we need a 4-year term and show them the advantage versus disadvantage, I really think citizens get behind it. But on the grand scheme of things, you'll probably see where I did say, hey, Hope Mills will be ready for a 4-year term at some point in some time. Number one, when you get a board, they can work in harmony. When you look back and you can see the progress that's been made, when you look at people and the citizens say, you know what, I like the direction my community is going. Then it's like they said on the Kung Fu commercial, when you can snatch the pebble out my hand, grasshopper, you are ready.
Well, and I feel like that Hope Mills, in addition to City of Fayetteville, Hope Mills is in a crucial development inflection point here because you need some longevity now because you have so much coming at you.
Right.
I don't think it's fair to ask somebody to do a 2-year term and expect them to do any kind of a good job.
I agree.
I mean, you have experience of having one previous term. That is going to put you light years ahead of some people that are running. I don't know. I think we're getting ready to dig into all you Hope Mills people. I think next few weeks is going to be pretty interesting. So you have an advantage in that regard just because you have the former. You just know Robert's rules. We got to make a motion before we make a this and that and the other.
And the separation of who does what.
Absolutely.
The difference between a county commissioner and
that was
a council person.
That was my favorite segment on the Candidates Academy that Grilley didn't come to.
No.
Chamber of Commerce.
Because he already knows. He didn't need to take
Actually, I don't think we invited Hope Mills people. My bad. It is the greater Fayetteville Chamber. But anyway, that was one of my favorite segments that Kirk Devier came was, the silos of this is what the county, city, and state does. So stop looking to the city to do homeless stuff when the county needs to do that.
That's right.
And don't
City
look at the
to
county for Medicaid because that's the state, so that's a very good that right there is basic civics, but I don't think a lot of people have basic civics.
No,
which,
sure
as
don't.
a matter of fact, I want to announce we do have a new segment called Laura on the Loose.
Oh no, that sounds scary.
We let Laura loose at the Board of Elections.
Oh no,
with a microphone.
Yeah, buddy.
And she
and I got 5th and 8th grade questions about the Constitution.
Is that what they were?
5th.
You stumped me with that.
Yes, I did.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, you're asking too hard of a question.
So it's a cheat sheet.
I did not use a cheat sheet. I just printed up the questions and said, let's see how many I could figure. I did not get them all right myself.
I think she did very well, and she was well received, and she got some really good answers. And we're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. I think we took out the ones that were the worst. I think that were like that people would be mad if we replayed that. So, it was the first time out. Imagine. I was like, let's just take it easy. Let's not.
Let's be nice. Yeah.
Let's not take the complete.
But we're going out there tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going out there. We're going to go hit the voter lines and hit some more people because it was fun. It was interactive. It's great to get people involved.
Yeah.
So
it was
really
a lot of fun. And all right. So do you? Well, you got a few minutes. It's only about a 3-minute.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, let me see if I can get Jim. Let's go ahead and have Laura on the loose. Let's see. So, remember? You? There you go.
I hope I have cool music.
How are you guys doing? Are you guys getting ready to vote? Yes. Can I ask you some constitutional questions?
Yes.
Do you know what the Second Amendment is in regards to?
Yes, the right to bear arms.
Okay, can you name 5 of the freedoms in the First Amendment?
The right to petition for redress your grievances, freedom of speech. You put me on the spot.
That's okay, you got more than most people.
Freedom to gather, basically to protest.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of the press, right?
That's right, one more.
And,
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Freedom of religion.
Very good. We got the first person that got them all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good. How are you doing out of the polls?
I'm out here to make sure everybody comes out and vote for the candidate of their choice.
Okay.
For sure.
And how do you feel about a mayoral candidate that calls people by derogatory names?
I don't think anybody that calls anybody by derogatory.
I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you so very much for your time. I appreciate you coming out. How is your campaign going today, Gail?
Oh, it's going great. I think we're doing well. We have lots of interesting people coming by, like these lovely folks. And we just are glad to see everyone come out because your vote does count. Your opinion matters.
And how do you feel about a mayoral candidate that calls somebody a faggot?
Well, that's totally inappropriate. And
Exactly.
I think inappropriate behavior isn't any good anywhere it occurs.
Yeah, that came out on Facebook today. I just wanted to share. Thank you.
Really?
How you guys doing? You guys are getting ready to vote? Can I ask you some questions? Oops. my goodness. Can I ask you some questions? Do you know how many districts there are in Fayetteville?
I think there's like 36.
Okay. And who's the current mayor of Fayetteville?
Kevin.
Okay. And how many seats are there on city council?
There's 20.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Okay, so tell me, what do you think about a mayoral candidate calling somebody by a derogatory name?
It's reprehensible. It just speaks to the people that aren't qualified to run and do this job. I mean, I heard the comment. I mean, what, you're just mad at somebody because of who they love? What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Obviously something, maybe he got touched as a kid. Who knows? But there's something wrong with this guy.
Okay, now my next question is, name the 3 branches of the government.
Really? The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria.
Perfect. Thank you. I know Mario's going to be very right at this. What are the five freedoms in the First Amendment?
We've got the freedom of speech, assembly, religion. We've also got are there 5? Those are the 3 that I think about.
And the press.
Oh, of course. We got to have the press.
And petition.
Those are good ones. See, I'm all about the organizing. You got to get your petitions together, and we've got to assemble to get the petitions, and we've got to speak it out loud, and then the press has got to come put it out there in public. So yes, that's all 5 there. Now you got it.
That's it for me.
And there you have it, Laura on the loose. How did she do?
I love the new spot. That is amazing.
So
I'm not sure who that last guy. I know Mario, but the guy before him, I'm not.
Yeah.
He's a
Nina
troublemaker.
He's a little opinionated. That guy,
He is.
Yeah. Well, no, she just dropped it on me. I had to give her something not answer.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, that was great.
I can't be serious for very much long, and I shouldn't be unsupervised either.
No, you shouldn't.
We're learning that. So
this is brand new. We're working out the kinks. The sound wasn't very good, but we're getting that all together. And so
the ones she's going to do tomorrow are going to sound great, and it's going to look great, and hopefully tomorrow's going to be a long day.
Yeah, it is going to be a long
primary day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Polls open 7:30. No, let's see. Polls open 6:30. Close at 7:30.
Working in the raw is always good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So really, I know you don't have a primary, but what are you doing tomorrow? Work.
I don't have a clue.
No clue.
I don't have a clue.
Okay. Well, Grilley, if
have you voted already yet?
Nah,
You don't have a primary.
There's nothing.
Nothing in Hope
There's
Mills?
nothing in Hope Mills.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, tell us if somebody wants to learn about you, like where would they go? I mean, I found your bio on CityView, but did you make a website or anything?
No, I don't make websites.
You don't do all that.
Yeah. Because if anyone that want to talk to me, find me, I'm always at the Alms House for the most part. And
Where's the Alms House located?
3909 Ellison Street there in Hope Mills. And my words, my actions speak for itself. I care about people, not some people, but all people. And with me, I'm a bit harsh. But I treat everyone with dignity and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, either gonna like me or love me. I'm not gonna be no in between guy.
There you go.
He's okay. I mean, he's okay. Yeah, he's kind of rough around the edges a little bit, but he's a good guy.
Those are the best kind of people.
And
anyway.
so as a realtor, I have been out to the Alms House for the. Again, though, it conflicts with the cabinet reporting, so I haven't been out there very much in the last year or two. But we get together. 10 or 15 of us usually show up, and we're told bring a protein or how do you organize other groups? Do you have other groups that come through like that?
I have a calendar that I keep track of everybody.
Okay.
And I just maintain it. I fill it out, and I keep a couple of spots vacant. So if anyone calls me up and say, "Hey, listen, me and my family want to volunteer. My group want to volunteer," I'll say, once you're serious about it, you're dedicated and committed, give me a call. And that's when I will find a spot to put them in.
So if I have a group of 10 people and we want to get one of your nights, what do you tell? So what do you tell us? Because I've never been on the planning side. I've just been on the volunteer side. So do you tell them what to bring that night, or you just tell them to choose an entree? What do you do?
I tell you to come down and visit us for the first time.
Okay.
See how we operate, see what we do. And at that time, if you're serious about it, I will lay out a plan and make it very simple and easy for you.
Okay.
One of my policies in life is I make it hard for you to tell me no.
There you go.
There was a radio guy like him that used to say, "Peter, can I send you some customers?" And I'm like, how can you not say yes to the advertising? You can't.
Right.
You got nowhere to go.
You got nowhere.
He was
locked me in here.
He had been dealing with my people for a while, so he knew how to box us in. So, well, Grilley, we appreciate you being here this evening. So, to our listeners, anybody watching, we are going to take a short break, and
conservative-
we are going to come back here in a few minutes. We're going to sign off and sign back in.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Sounds
Grilley.
good.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.